We are live with session 2 of our spooky Halloween game. It's not late at all to be doing this, but whatever. Still tentatively titled Iron Lung, just because I haven't thought of anything better. Not that I've been really trying that hard. So everyone should be on the bank screen. So a few quick pieces of housekeeping before we get started. Everyone reset your cool to 1. So sorry about that, Anna. You are going to lose your ridiculous amount of cool. And congratulations, hey, Jason. You now actually have one cool.
You're cool again.
Oh, yeah. Second thing is you guys have some dice that you've racked up. So you have 10 franchise dice. Does anyone need to use them to heal?
Yes. I've got 2 points missing.
All right. Do you want to use 4 dice and go ahead and get those all taken care of?
I think I do. I was pretty worthless for the latter half of that game.
Yeah, it's definitely a compounding effect. As you start getting stress, it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Like in real life.
Exactly. Anyone else need to do any healing?
I don't think so.
I'm still like...
Yeah, Scruffy, we know you're too cool for school.
As a quick question, we're only supposed to have 9 skill points, right?
If you're at full, you should have Academics 3, Athletics 3, Tech 2, and Contact 1.
Okay, that is correct, and I'm good.
Alright, so that leaves 6 dice. You can drag those to wherever you would like to store them.
I said we put 2 in training, since it's got 0.
That sounds good to me.
All right, and
which one helps with contact?
Contact you can only boost from the bank, because the bank you can use to boost any skill, but there are some risks associated with using bank dice.
Because I got some pretty bad contact. I want to put it there. And then 1 to each of the normal for the remaining 3.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Do people need a refresher on the rule system before we go on?
Please.
All right. So we are using Inspectres. We've already created your franchise, but I suppose I can go over it real quick. So you guys are part of a mega corporation, but you are a small startup operation out in Minnesota. You've only got about 10 to 15 people who work there, and you run yourselves out of a Little Caesars. You guys are in charge of it yourself, so of course you do answer to corporate, but otherwise you are the highest ranking authorities at your franchise. A lot of your research is government funded. You have decent amenities. You got offices, a library, storage for your artifacts, a science lab, an unusually large kitchen that totally wasn't requested by Scruffy specifically. And a mysterious door that is inside of one of the bathrooms that everyone knows just not to go in. Nobody knows why. But it's pretty clearly indoctrinated into your group that you do not open that door. Your competitors are the other actual restaurants in town, which you feel like you need to show up, even though your Little Caesars is entirely a front. You specialize in spirits, and the name of your show is Eat Pizza, Not People. The way the rules work is you have those numbers in your different scores. When you are asked to roll, you will roll that number. So for example, if you had a 3 in tech, you would roll 3 dice. For skill rolls, you roll the number of dice and then you take the highest result, which is going to determine how well you do. If you look down here, you can see the results of different numbers. When you take a stress roll, you roll a number of dice that I specify, and instead of taking the highest, you take the lowest, and then that is going to specify the result. You can boost your rolls by spending out of the different cards, which are up here. Library card is going to allow you to boost your academics. The gym card allows you to boost athletics, and the credit card allows you to boost technology. Contact can only be boosted by using dice out of the bank. However, when you roll a bank die, you have to then roll a second one, and depending on the roll, you could either get money back, you could lose that die without it doing anything, or you could even lose all the dice in your bank. One thing that is a fairly major part of this game that I have terrible at ever using are confessionals, which are the bits in reality TV shows where it cuts away from the action and someone is just like sitting in a room talking. Hopefully that's a familiar concept to everyone, at least, you know, in terms of television. A player can at any time call for a confessional. So this is partly on you guys for our lack of use of the feature. But yeah, basically you're able to like cut away from the action for a minute and be like, and this is where I knew that things were really going to go poorly for us, but good thing I remembered to bring my flamethrower with me. And then we cut back to the actual action. And whatever you say, well, I mean, within reason, largely because this specific campaign does require some degree of realism, instead of normally just the more anything goes kind of tact that we take. But yeah, like I said, within reason, anything you say in a confessional becomes canon. I think that's about it. Any questions or further clarification? All right, I will take your silence as a no. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, let me just start a couple of timers here.
Yay.
I'm really glad we went over the rules because I'm not gonna lie, I definitely did not remember.
Maybe
the
we've got 3
confessions.
minutes, so
All right, so you guys are currently, let me go ahead and move you to your real map so you can see what's going on. So you're currently right up here. If you remember, there was a soldier in this corner over here who was repeating his name, number, and rank repeatedly and loudly. You guys shot him up with some horse tranquilizers, so he is currently softly snoring in the corner over there. You guys first appeared actually, let me go ahead and pause this timer because I am gonna do a little intro. All right, way down here is where you guys showed up. You seem to have been, you guys were all working in your office, and you know everything was just going about as though it were a normal day when you suddenly awoke in this area. There was a soldier here who was very heavily wounded. You guys were unable to help him or get any useful information out of him. Though after a little while, you weren't quite able to figure out how to get out, but there was a lock right here next to the door that mysteriously started turning by itself, and the code turned out to be 666, which I'm sure was not ominous at all.
Nope.
And as that opened, this guy here, you might not be able to see him, but one of these ghoulish creatures came in. It was a very heavily wounded ghoul who had been shot up quite a bit, had a piece of rebar sticking out of his head, multiple broken bones, but he was still limping along and still extremely aggressive, came after you all. You were able to beat him down with only minimal damage. And then you kind of, and I'm going to breeze through most of the rest of this, just the setup is fairly important, kind of like story-wise, so that you understand where you set up. You started exploring throughout the facility, all these different rooms. You guys kind of checked out the bathroom. Eventually, you found a number of ghouls right up here in this break room, which you might actually be able to see because I put a light source where the TV is, so you guys can actually see this dude here.
I cannot.
Oh, because you don't have line of sight, Dur. But yeah, so you guys you found these 3 ghouls feasting on a corpse that was right here. And after they noticed you, you guys all ran back and hid in this room. Managed to avoid them and then sneak past. At a certain point, it was when you were in this room. There were loud thudding noises coming from outside the facility, and it started to leak. And most importantly about that, you guys are currently standing in about ankle deep water as that leaking has continued. So at this point, movement is pretty awkward. You got to really lift your feet to be able to move. And the leaking has since continued. You guys continued to explore, and eventually, where is my freaking notes? They're everywhere. I have so many different windows everywhere to run this game because I have not consolidated everything yet. All right, here we go. So at a certain point, as you were exploring, the vents that are circulating air also rattled and stopped. So now you guys are without fresh air. It's not too stale yet, but it's getting there. And so no air is circulating through the vents at this point. You guys found this pile of corpses here, determined that a creature that was dragging these bodies along, creating this trail of blood, the footprints seemed to be like those of a bear. You guys also went up here into this little kitchen area and managed to catch a break and eat some chocolate pudding and spend your franchise dice last time. Since then, you guys have explored. You found some stuff in this room, including some notes on what's kind of going on in the facility. Speaking of which, I guess, let me see. What do you know so far? They were doing some experiments with biological matter. There were some mentions of being able to use biological matter to make armor that was stronger and more flexible than Kevlar. And you've heard some ghosts or something. Some sort of entities seem to be, speaking to you guys off and on. Mostly it's just whimpers and whines and, moaning and, incoherent nonsense. But every once in a while you will pick out some things. One of the message was talking about bodies. At one point, Dr. Ghostenstein also had his mind invaded by some kind of entity. Some otherworldly creature of malice and evil that caused a 4-die stress roll, which you will know is no joke. Let's see, you guys' last place of interest was probably this room here, where Turin was exploring, and there are all of these weapons, like medieval weapons, so bardaches, axes, pole arms, that sort of thing, are hung on the walls, and the weapons jumped off the wall and started flinging themselves at him. And he managed to barely get out of there. And you guys are now hiding away in your room with the door closed as you are hearing loud thumping noises coming up the hallway. I think that catches us up.
Alrighty.
All right, now I will resume the timers.
Has the thing gone by? Like, have we heard the thumping pass us yet?
No, it's still outside in the hallway.
And is it coming from west to east or east to west?
It is coming from the west.
And going east.
Correct.
Gotcha. All right.
That is the only way that this hallway would allow for.
Well, they could be, they're just.
It could be a ghost going through walls. You're not wrong.
Yeah. Hey, man, demon swords are attacking us, so.
Yeah. Oh, also, you guys did look out the windows at one point and saw a giant creepy eyeball or something. Anyway, you guys know that you're in some sort of underwater facility at this point.
It's probably nothing to be worried about.
Yeah. All right. The thumping noise is now directly in front of your door.
I'm
I
gonna
say we
hide
wait.
under the table.
Huh?
So I'm gonna hide under the table.
I'm gonna. Well, I'm
Just for
gonna
good
hide
measure.
in this alcove.
Where the soldier is?
You're
Yeah,
just
dude.
teabagging the soldier while you wait.
Hey, man. You don't sucks to suck.
Yeah, get
Okay,
good, bro.
I want a confessional.
All right.
Dr. Ghostenstein confessional.
All right, so suddenly, as everyone is cowering in their various corners, and this thudding, ominous noise is approaching closer and louder, the camera cuts away to Dr. Ghostenstein, standing next to a what are those things? The Tesla, is it a Tesla coil where it like shoots out the lightning?
Yes.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
standing next to a Tesla coil, which is zapping, across its direction. You're holding some sort of wacky science doodad or another. Your hair is completely standing out in all directions, but I mean, it always does that. Looking composed and, put together and wearing your trench coat, or not trench coat, your lab coat.
This was das moment of clarity. I sat down on my chair and I think, what shall become of me should this monster break in? I just switched to French. I don't know why.
That's fine. I like it.
And I say, I shall end it myself. I strap the bomb to my chest and await certain doom.
All right. Well, I guess we'll need a tech roll to see what kind of bomb you actually have.
What is my tech for?
All right, you have a 6. So you do, in fact, carry with you at all times a suicide vest. So you basically, grab your shirt, rip out all the buttons, and you are standing there with a stereotypical suicide vest and a small button with a plunger on top that'll set it off.
My friends, take cover.
What?
I mean, you're going to kill your friends and anyone in this room because you're definitely going to, blow it out and you're under the ocean. So even if the blast doesn't kill them...
Since it's a 6, can we say it's a claymore and we got, directional action? It's pointed at the door?
No.
Okay. Well, this was maybe a silly plan.
Dr.
Dr. Ghostenstein is a crazy motherfucker.
Oh dang it! I have 0 Shaggy, you have the highest contact of all of us. You need to save our lives right now. Shut up, Shaggy. Scruffy.
Wait, what is contact for again?
Basically, it's your ability. It's like a mix between charisma and just being able to call in favors, knowing people. If you were trying to break into a vault, let's say, you could maybe just happen to know the security guard, right? That sort of thing.
Okay.
Can she happen to know the freaking ghoulies?
I don't think that would help.
Hey, cool number 1. How you doing?
All right. Well, luckily for you all, as Ghostenstein stands directly in front of the door, preparing to make a valiant sacrifice of himself and unfortunately all of his team, if that door comes open, the door doesn't. The thudding recedes toward the east.
All right, this is our chance to make a break down the hall.
Ah, well.
All right. Before you do that.
Dramatic.
Oh yeah, you kind of try to pull your shirt back together, but you ripped all the buttons out, so it doesn't exactly work. But hey, you made a statement.
Probably remove the explosives.
All right, but before you guys are able to leave, I need everyone to roll me a d6.
Oh dear. High or low?
Just roll d6.
3.
I also
Middle
rolled a
below.
3. I
Oh,
rolled
no.
my
Roll the 1.
physical
Either both.
d6.
Yeah, same.
All right, let
I
me.
rolled a 1.
I want your fit. What'd you get, baby?
1.
Well, it could be anything like 3 or like 4 or above is like bad.
No, I'm gonna leave it because, like, especially when we're rolling 6, I have the macro set up, so it, like, automatically does my highs and lows.
Wow.
All
You
right,
don't want to roll your
so
cool physical D6.
Not.
uh, so you got. We'll start with Scruffy since you got the unique roll. So Scruffy, you hear a voice inside of your head. It's hard to make out, but it has a thick German accent.
It's Dr. Frankenstein.
Ghostenstein?
There we go.
No, it is not Dr. Ghostenstein. And it says,
Dr. Ghost Inside apparently has half French accent.
Well, his mom was French.
there you go. And he says, oh wait, sorry. I think I was looking at the wrong person. Here we go. Still German accent. So he says, you are need to die. It is the only way. Now for you 3 rollers. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this is the person I thought it was. All right. So the 2 of you actually hear the same voice at the same time, and it's a British voice. And the voice says, don't worry, you just need to be a little bit careful out there. Keep going, and eventually you'll see a large machine, and you need to... And then it stops.
I like our voice better.
Need to what?
I trust you, Dr. Ghostenstein. It's a machine. You'll know what to do.
All right, and then
What?
you...
I heard the same voice?
I assume so. I think we all heard the very fine British fellow.
Why did he not tell us the way?
Bad reception.
And then
So
you hear something.
frustrating.
You hear a loud smacking noise, and you look behind you, startled, and one of the clipboards has fallen off of the table and onto the ground.
We're killing that soldier.
It's not there. It's actually right here. It's this one on the table here that is now actually on the ground.
I'm gonna pick it up.
All right, so
And look at it.
you pick it up and you flip it over, and you see that it says, activate the machine.
We have to activate the machine. Good old British. Can always trust them. That's what I learned today. All right. Let's find the machine and activate it. I'm sure there's not more than one here. Nope. I say we make it.
Hurry.
All right, you guys opening the door?
Yes.
I open the door.
All right, let's see if I can actually grab the door. There we go. The door is now
I feel
open.
so alive.
You guys have not explored the room across yet. That's where the weapons were being thrown at Turin before. You guys, as you step out, you can hear a crunching, like tearing noise coming from the east.
Nope. We're gonna go west.
All right, you guys are avoiding the weapon room.
We are. Well, I don't know. I want to avoid the weapon room, but I feel like that's for good reason.
All right, Scruffy is just getting left behind.
Hi, Scruffy. We're gonna open this door.
All right. Door is opening.
All right.
Goodbye, Scruffy.
Look, a machine.
That's
All right,
machine.
you guys might want to wait before you walk into that room
Oh,
for
we are
the
waiting.
room
We
description.
of course are waiting. We wouldn't be so hasty as to foolishly go into a room without.
Of course,
Looking-
of course.
No, that's just not the kind of people we are.
All right. This room is fairly large and the lights are all off, but it is actually brighter than most of the others you've seen. There's a pallid green light emanating from the door as soon as you open it. As you look inside, you can see the source of this light. In the center of the room is a large round machine with a domed glass top. It is from this glass dome that the luminescent green light is emanating. There's a control panel directly to the left of the door and 3 strange thick cords that are running from several devices on the floor to the machine in the middle of the room. And there are 4 ghouls in the room. And again, you might want to step out of said room. Because if you're standing where you're standing right now, they would see you.
Alright, we're standing out of the room.
All right. Bloop and bloop and bloop and bloop. All right.
I regret removing my explosive vest.
All right, so you see them. We'll say that you basically like have pried the door open enough to look in, and that's it. What do you do?
I would like a confessional.
All right. And there is one limit to confessionals. It's once per scene, but this is a new scene, so go ahead. So we cut away. Basically, we see the green light cast slowly across Turin's face, and his eyes widening in shock and terror. Before the camera then cuts away to Turin, looking rather comfy in a smoking jacket, sat upon a large kind of velvet upholstered chair with big bat wing, like whatever you call it, like a big high Gothic back that kind of like peeks out in the corners. Large, comfy looking armrests. He's got a pipe. You smoke a pipe, right?
I do smoke a pipe.
So he's got his pipe, hanging out one side of his mouth, and a very large, dusty looking tome in the other hand.
So we're sitting here, looking through this door. We see these 4 otherworldly creatures, completely contorted and twisted representations of people. And I thought, dang, those are some scary looking things. But I decided then that I was going to use my smoking tobacco that I always carry with me. I pat my breast pocket along with some sage that an old Indian chieftain had given me, and combine them to light and create this what's the word I'm looking for?
Incense? A smoke bomb?
Yeah. Well, it's like a type of like fume that makes you like pass out.
A narcotic haze?
There we go. That. And hopefully, I thought at the time that hopefully that would have the desired effect of neutralizing these 3 monsters.
All right. Tech roll, as per usual.
We all know the dog walker isn't going to go leash him up and take him around the block. That's how. Hold on 1 second. That's 3d6s. Is that correct?
Is that do you have a 3 in tech?
No, I've got a 2 in tech. So
Then it's 2d6s, and you can spend out of your credit card if you would like to boost that. You currently have 3 dice in your credit card.
I feel like we kind of want to go for it.
All right, how many do you want to spend?
1.
All right, that will boost it up to 3 dice.
3d6. Dang, I got a 3.
All right. So you have it. What's a 3? Let's see. The result for a 3 is roll results. Here we go. Not great. I get to decide your fate. So you pull that out and you kind of like make it into a little bomb, light it, roll it into the room, and all it does is attract their attention, and they immediately start moving toward the door and toward it.
Wait, I tell you, the narcotics are going to kick in any second now.
And then they come closer, they start sniffing at it, and then they all roll over.
What did I tell you?
Also, you hear that loud thudding coming from the east again.
All right, let's get in there. Yeah, let's get in there. Let's do that. So I'm gonna walk in. Kinda. Scruffy.
Scruffy's gonna eat you. It's eating you!
Scruffy!
Ah!
Scruffy! All right, I'm shutting the door.
All right. No, you guys actually do get away from it faster than that, presumably.
I was feeding the baby.
All right, so door is closed now.
Alrighty. Do they appear to be unconscious?
They do, in fact, appear to be unconscious.
I don't want to disturb them. I mean, like, we could try and kill them in their sleep, but then we might fail and they might wake up and just, like, kill us.
That is definitely a very wise concern.
So I'm going to carefully walk around them. Dr.
All right, the thudding has
Ghostenstein.
passed and has now gone to the west.
Dr. Ghostenstein, see if you can't find out what this machine does.
Okay, I step to one of the nodes and take a closer look.
I think that's a tech roll or a science. Do you have probably tech, but you do get your bonus from your competency was science, I think.
So I get an extra one?
Yes.
Yes, my talent is science.
And you could use academics if you would rather use that than tech.
I wouldn't. I got a 4.
All right, a 4. I think that's a decent result. That's fair. Describe a mostly positive. I mean, normally this is much more collaborative. You don't have like a set world that's like there. So that's the reason this is much more like, I don't know, GM run than normal for inspectors.
That makes sense.
But yeah, so you do determine what they are. They are generators, very, very powerful ones, in fact. However, you find that out by accidentally turning one on. And it is loud as heck. So someone might want to turn that off fast.
Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off!
I try to turn off whatever I just turned on.
All right, it's going to be athletics because it's mostly a reaction. So who wants to roll it?
I will. Unless, Scruffy, what do you have?
Scruffy has a 4.
Oh, Scruffy should roll it.
Yeah, Scruffy has the highest athletics.
What did you put into academics and tech?
So I am a 1 in academics, a 4 in athletics, a 2 in tech, and a 2 in contact.
Oh.
Don't expect me to do anything smart. Okay, and these are low rolls or high rolls?
High rolls,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, stress rolls are the only ones where you want the lowest. All right.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so you turn it off. You basically
I think I'm a little
dive.
close to the bomb.
You dive for it. Manage to turn it off, but not before the creatures start to stir.
I think I was standing a little too close to Tenenbaro's smoke bomb?
Yeah, you were getting a little sleepy, a little hazy in the noggin there.
I'm gonna take my bat and try and kill this one, but not like very noisily, right? I'm just gonna try and hit it in the head.
All right.
Cave its head in.
It is currently incapacitated. It's waking up, but it is currently not moving, incapacitated. So, go ahead and roll athletics, but I'll give you a couple of bonus dice. And by a couple, I mean exactly 2.
Nice.
All right.
6.
Nice.
I got like 4 5s and 1 6.
Let me give you your franchise dice for that. 6.
Woo!
I'm not giving you franchise dice for tech rolls just to have stuff, just so that you're aware. Because I know you guys did roll a 6 on that earlier. Yeah, so you do manage to take your baseball bat and putting every ounce of strength in your rather mildly athletic body. Well, I don't know, 3 dice. You're decent. You're a decent brawler. But anyway, you go for it. Just all out, no holes barred, slam into that thing's head as hard as you can, and you manage to splatter it like a ripe watermelon. So
Nice.
that is one of these creatures dead. However, the others are waking up and starting to quickly move in. So
I'm gonna get the other one. Like, is it still incapacitated?
nope, they are now awake. So the one next to you is going to lunge at you. Go ahead and give me a 3 dice stress roll, Turin.
A 6, a 5, and a 1.
All right. You have 1 cool, so thankfully that 1 is not your lowest. You drop the 1 die for your 1 point of cool. So a 4 is gonna... All right, a 5 is gonna be pretty good. I believe that one is too cool for school. Yep, blase, no effect. So you manage to dodge out of the way as it swipes at you with its claws. The other one has moved up on Shaggy, or Scruffy. So if you would also give me a 3 die stress roll. All right, a 4. So that is annoyed. You are going to suffer a 1 die penalty to your next roll, no matter when you perform it.
Oh dear.
And this last one is going to start circling around this way. All right. Now would someone like to do something?
I think Shaggy should try and kill that.
Are we certain we're going to be able to take 3 of these guys out?
Maybe. We're kind of blocked from the door. And we're told to activate a machine, and lo and behold, a machine.
Okay.
We're not stuck in here with them. They're stuck in here with us.
Exactly.
You can hope. You can hope, but I will say that it is definitely valid to be pretty concerned about this situation.
I guess I'll probably... Can I just step over, like, up and over kind of between my 2 friends and step there?
And then run away?
No, attack this guy up here.
Oh.
Eureka!
So you're
The one
gonna...
who's
I will
blocking the
simply
door.
overcharge the generator and blow it up.
No.
All right, let's do Scruffy first. So, Scruffy, yes, you can attack that creature. Are you using your rebar?
Yes.
All right, go for it. So that's going to be another athletics roll. Remember, you lose 1 die. What was your competency? I don't think it's applicable.
Dog.
Acute senses.
These are kind of like dogs.
No, my senses are very acute.
It's kind of dark in here. So I'll give you that just for like being able to see well enough to get like a really good hit in on a weak point.
Awesome. So it's just I still get to roll 4 dice.
Yes. And you can roll more if you would like to spend out of your gym card. I believe you still have 3 in there. Yes.
Situation that we probably want to use.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
Maybe just 1 because they'll bring me up to 5. That gives them
Pretty good chance.
Hopefully a good chance.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You now have 2 dice in your gym, 2 in credit, 3 in library, and 4 in bank.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna roll.
All right,
Hey,
double
I got a six.
sixes. All right, let me go ahead and give you your franchise dice for that. And you take a swing at this creature, and you do, in fact, stick it right in what you would think would be a weak point. You stick it directly into its eye hole. However, it is not dead, and it is going to be pretty hard to get your rebar back now.
Compounding on that, I'm going to hit it with a bat.
All right.
I gotta roll. Do we want to use another gym?
Probably, considering I think. if
Or
we
you
don't
can
get
spend
out
from the
here, we're
bank
going
if you want
back.
to.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of keep forgetting how the bank works, so I'm gonna use the gym instead.
All right. 1 die.
Yes. With a 46. I got a 4. I got 4 4s. I'm sorry, 3 4s. And 1 1.
Could be worse. All
It
right.
could be.
So you manage to swing your bat, connecting with the rebar and pushing it all the way through its head. So it's like shoots out the back of its head, and pretty badly crumpling the front of its face. So the rebar is now on the ground, kind of over by the door. It is still not dead.
Gosh dang it. Doc. I say we kill this one creature between us and the door, and then we run away. What are y'all's thoughts?
I agree. Let's see. What do we have? We have knives.
Yes.
All of a sudden, Dr. Ghostenstein yells, "Blitzkrieg!" and runs at the ghoul and jumps on it.
Oh,
All right. I think.
nice knowing.
Didn't you have some sort of like a science gun or something?
No, yeah, I'm bringing the knife. I'm trying to jump on it with the knife.
All right.
I'm gonna use. Do we have any gym die left?
You have 1
We
gym
do.
die left, or you
All
have
right, I wanna
4
use one
bank
of those.
dice.
And one of the bank.
All right. So roll you have roll everything except the bank dice. The bank dice have to be rolled separately. So you now have nothing left in the gym card. 3 left in the bank.
Well, I got 2 6s.
Nice. All right, now roll 1 more for the bank. After you roll, check the bank dice's number. All right, you got a 3, so no penalty or loss. So the bank die just acts as a normal die. But you still did get that 6, so let me give you
Got
guys
2 6s.
another couple of
I think just the
franchise
one counts
dice.
for the franchise. Right?
Yeah, you don't get double. All right, well, we'll resolve that in a minute, but
Wait, but doesn't a
something's
6
happening.
get us 2?
Yes, I gave you 2 franchise dice, but you don't get a second 2 for the other 6.
Yeah, yep.
All right, and we will resolve that timer going off in just a minute. But yeah, so you run over, jump on this guy, and just like start going ham on his face with that pocket knife. And you stick it in, you just stabbing as wildly and crazy and strongly as you can. And it does, if after a few seconds, stop moving, and it's dead. But your pocket
now I
knife
vote to run away.
has a small, not combat intended blade, and it snaps. So pocket knife is no more. All right, this guy's gonna move up here. And I need some 3 die stress rolls from Scruffy and Turin.
Alright, a 2, a 4, and a 6.
Yeah, so it's a 2, or not a 2, a 4 since you dropped the lowest. So you are going.
One die penalty.
You also got a 4, Anna?
Yeah.
All right, both
Yep.
of you suffer a 1 die penalty to your next roll. But while this is happening, you guys hear a loud metal creaking noise and then a thud. And then you hear coming from out in the hallway a loud roar. Louder than anything that you've heard in the station so far, followed by some screams. I don't think you'd be able to hear that. And then you hear the thumping, but this time, so the loud thumping has so far been pretty slow and kind of measured. You hear it loudly now, barreling down the hallway toward the east.
Towards the east?
Toward the east, so it passes the door and goes this way.
Well, someone's screwed. But that person does not have to be us. So I say, let's get out of here, run down the hall, and try and find an exit to this place. Of course, I don't say it that calmly because I'm gonna say, "Run for the door!" and start running for the door.
All right, so you get to the door, you open it, I assume.
Yes.
All right, and let me open that door
I'm
for
actually
you.
gonna see if I've already died and try and phase through the door.
All right, you slam into the door. You are not dead.
Good to know. Good to know. All right.
And you look out into the hallway and over toward the west, where the blood trail has been coming from. You see 2 humanoid figures. They are heavily armored, wearing gas masks and holding still dripping flamethrowers.
Nice. I'm going to say, hey, we're people. We're not things. Please do not shoot us. And I'm going to start going down the hall.
All right, so you do that, and they don't say anything at first. You kind of like see them kind of like press the ear like they're using comms or something, and then they level their flamethrowers at you. And please make a 5 die stress roll.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna freaking die.
5. Get out of town.
Oh! Well, dang it, that doesn't help. I got 2 6s, but...
Yeah, so you drop the 1, you still get a 2 as they unload on you. So you are going to lose 2 dice. So either 2 out of 1 skill or 1 out of 2 different skills. As they let loose simultaneously on you, blasting you with flames.
I am going to throw my pocket knife at them.
All right. It bounces off of their armor ineffectually.
Dang.
All right.
I'm going
The other people, Doc Brown, and Shaggy. I mean, Ghostenstein and Scruffy. You guys are at least near the door. Presumably, you were intending to go along with the plan. So at least one of you can somewhat see what's happening to Turin, who is being turned into the Human Torch, but not in a fun way. What do you guys do?
I think Scruffy. Ghostenstein yells to Scruffy. Quick, pull him back in. I'm too weak. And then Scruffy says, "Of course,
Yes.
get back
and
in
it's
here."
gonna pull him back in.
Can you? Like,
Not
I
without
was-
going also down the hallway to where Turin is.
Oh,
I am
well, how
about,
far
like,
did you
15
go?
feet from the door.
Good grief.
Because you moved yourself without asking, he's actually 20 feet from the door. Don't think
Oh,
I
there we
didn't
go.
see you do that.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Well, it was good knowing him.
There is a door you could close, and the flamethrowers don't have direct line of sight on you at the moment.
No, but there's also like two little beasties in there. So.
Yeah, this is what they call being stuck between a rock and a ghoul that'll eat your face.
Not that I can say anything because I'm way down the hall, but there are two perfectly good doors, like
Right where the
next to where I'm
flamethrower
at.
people can see you and light you on fire? Yes, there
Maybe.
are.
But then, see, when we hit the deck, all the creepy creatures will jump over us and attack those people, and then we'll get this.
Scruffy, follow me. We're gonna quickly run back to where we were hiding before. While we still can.
Sounds good.
All right, so you guys go running down there. Turin, I assume you join them.
I was gonna go into one of these rooms, but because it seems like the shortest way to not get lit on fire. But if I
All
can
right,
do
if you
that,
want to try one of those doors, go for it. Which door do you want to try?
I want to try that one.
All right, so let's see which
Turin,
room this
come
is.
back this way.
So you try the door, and I'll point out I had all this like written out beforehand, so I'm not doing this just to screw you. It's locked.
Yay! All right, I'm gonna try and book it back.
So
in the hall
I'm
then.
gonna need, you're a little further away, but I'm gonna need a 4-die stress roll as they light you up again.
4.
All right, so they largely miss you. You are, however, still currently on fire.
It'll be fine. Hey, we're in water. I feel like all the running in water is gonna like passively put me out.
So flamethrowers use a gel that can burn even underwater as long as it's already started.
That's interesting. All right.
That's
so I
also
guess
why the
I'm-
flames like stick to you. So it's not just like a blast of flame like you would have from like say a blowtorch, right? Where it's a gas. It's a gel stream that sticks to you and continues to burn.
Well, I guess I'm going to make my way down to where
Downtown.
Scruffy and Doc Brown are.
All right. Let's get an athletics roll to see how fast you are at that.
That would be a 2d6 because I have.
Do you want to
No, it'd be a
spend out of the
1d6.
bank? You have bank dice.
We don't have. Oh, I guess I'll try it. Yeah. How much bank dice do we have?
I think 3. Yes, you have 3 dice in the bank right now.
I'm gonna use 2 of them.
All right. Remember to roll
first
the
roll
bank
was
dice
1d6.
separately. So start with your
Oh, I got a 6, so that's cool. We'll see what this does. And then roll 2d6.
All right.
2 and a 3.
Cool. 3, no penalty. 2, you lose that die and an additional bank die. So you now have no dice in your bank.
Cool beans.
Wait,
But-
why did he have to? Wait, I'm confused. What just happened? He rolled 2 bank consequence dice.
Anytime you roll a bank die, you also then look at those results and compare them to a chart of results based off of what they are. So he got a 2 and a 3. A 3 is nothing, and a 2 is lose an additional die from the bank if possible.
Oh, okay.
So the 2 then lost your last die out of the bank. But you
I
got
am
2
using
franchise
an
dice.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
All right, you book it. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. You book
What
it.
door did y'all go into? Oh, I see.
Lock the door! Lock the door!
Y'all are
Okay, I
closing
closed the door behind him.
All right.
I'm gonna grab my explosive vest and prepare to throw it down the hall.
Can I pull a cord out of that vest to make it inoperable? Is
You
that
could
something I
try.
can do?
What, this is a good plan. We could throw it. We could hide in this room,
No,
safe from the
entire
blast.
compound will fill with water.
All
Well,
right.
maybe.
So you
Or we
guys,
die by fire.
he has a point. All right, you better hope they don't blast Doc Brown, or it might just go off by accident.
Okay.
All right, so you guys hide in the room. You hear some thumping approaching the door. When you then hear the high-pitched screams of those ghouls that have been attacking you, and then you hear more blasts of fire, and then you hear the footsteps going off in the other direction.
The thumping or the
Stupid.
footsteps?
What was your question, Abe?
Was it like, is it thumping or is it footsteps?
It's
Is that
not as
question
loud as the creature that you guys have been hearing dragging bodies this whole time, but
Okay.
it is heavy footsteps, presumably of the armored individuals that were lighting you guys on fire.
All right. So they obviously got here somehow.
I almost said something with metagame knowledge.
No, I forgot. You're not actually playing. You're like not actively playing.
But yes, presumably they got here somehow. Presumably
Yeah.
related to the noises you heard earlier.
Yeah. All right. So I say Ruffy goes out into the hall and tells us what's there.
Oh, you also might want to like drop and roll. You're still on fire.
Oh,
Speaking of which,
Yeah,
I need
well, I'm
a 3-die stress roll for the continuing flames, real quick.
1, a 1, and a 5, so a 1.
All right, that's not good. So you, the flames have been spreading to the rest of your clothing, and you are very badly burnt at this point. So you have a complete nuclear meltdown, lose all of your cool if you have any, and lose a number of dice equal to the number of stress dice rolled, which is 3.
Alrighty.
Yikes.
Well, wait.
Keep it together, man.
You say to the guy who's still burning and on fire as he rolls around and thrashes in the good 4 or 5 inches of water that are on the ground right now, and is
As
still
he burns,
burning.
does nothing. Yeah.
It's just a singe.
Eventually, the fuel does burn itself out, and you're finally going out, but you are horribly burnt at this point. Like, you are going to need plastic surgery.
Shake it off. You look great. Head in the game. Now, about that exploding vest. No, they walked off. No longer necessary. Man, I really want to use this bomb.
All right, if you would like to take a break, you guys could spend some franchise dice.
That would probably be for the best, since nothing is actively chasing us at the moment, and we have a nuclear meltdown on our hands.
Right.
All right, and don't pay attention to the timers. I definitely didn't start a new one. All right, you guys have 8 dice. How many? Do you want to just spend all of those and get 4 of your damage back, Turin?
Sure. That's probably a good idea. That would be 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. Wings.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, flamethrowers are no joke. All right, now.
I still like my plan of Scruffy going out into the hall and seeing if they're gone.
Well, first, I'm going to need some more D6s from everyone. So just a single D6, please.
3.
2.
I got a 6.
All right. Let's start with the 3. So, 3 is going to be the British voice again. So that was you, Turin?
Yeah.
So you hear the voice going, what? Oh, this is quite a turn of events. Oh, not that machine, by the way.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Oh.
And then Jason, you got a 1?
2.
Oh, a 2. All right. So 2 is all right. So you hear the voice and it says, I think someone rolled a 2 before, didn't they?
No, we got a 1 and a 3.
Okay. Well, then there's a new voice. Really, no one got a 2 before?
Promise.
Hmm. All right. Well, then the
We
person
had the
that
German doomsayer and the proper British guy.
Okay. Well, then the voice that told you to turn on the machine did not tell you to turn on the machine.
Well, what did it tell us?
It said that the machine's got to be destroyed.
What did it tell us the first time?
It told you
that's what
to
it told us.
turn on the machine. It did not tell you to turn on the machine.
Yeah. Okay.
This time, however, not Doc Barton. Every time I look at your token, I just am like, Doc Barton. All right, so
Yeah, because when the first time it didn't say what to do with the machine, we saw that on the clipboard to act the machine.
So it should have been clipboard falls, destroy it. Okay, not turn it on. Okay.
Okay.
I got 2 voices backward. My bad. This time, Dr. Ghostenstein, you hear a voice with an American accent, and it says, trying to think if there's anything useful I would say. Yeah, it says, go down, you need to be careful. Things are very dangerous here. You need to go down the hallway and go left. There's a machine at the end of it. You need to turn it on. All right. And then, Scruffy, your mind is invaded by some sort of dark, malevolent force. It's basically like, you know, when they speak the tongue of Morgoth, right? And everything like gets dark and it's ominous and booming as you hear these strange words you don't understand at all. But I'm gonna need a 4-die stress roll.
Oh dear. Well, that didn't go well.
Oh dear.
Well, you dropped the 1, thankfully.
Yeah.
So it's just a 2. It could have been way worse. So you are frazzled. Lose 2 dice. So Scruffy is in the corner just holding his head and, you know, muttering under his breath, but loudly enough that all of you can definitely hear him. Shut up, shut up, shut up.
That's not.
And none of the skills can be put to 0, right?
They can be, however, it means that you automatically fail. So it's very bad to do.
Right, you don't
But
even get a chance.
if you're not really worried about, like, you know, trying to convince people of anything. But, you know, so far.
Well, if you get a 0, you're also incapable of doing anything related to that skill. Like speaking.
We don't need to speak. We can all just sit here and enjoy the silence. The sound of silence.
And then, do I lose any cool or anything?
No, you do not lose any cool. So you
You
still
only
you still have your
collect
1 point.
one.
Cool. Okay. I have taken it out of tech and contact, so those are both ones now.
Cool. All right. So you guys are opening the door.
Yes. Well, I assume. I don't know. I'm kind of sitting back by the desk.
Oh,
Did we do our dice? I'm still on the dice screen.
We did. Yeah. I'm
oh,
still
I
on the
forgot to
dice.
move you guys back. 1 sec. I'll do that. Just let me open this door for you. And move you back. My bad. There you go.
All right. So a very helpful voice told me that the machine is up and to the left.
My very helpful voice told me that we need to destroy the machine.
Destroy it? No. Turn it on.
I think we should just be safe and destroy it.
Be safe and destroy it. What if it's our only way out of here?
What if it's like causing these creepy monsters to appear?
Well, wouldn't it make more sense to try turning it on first, and then if anything bad happens, to then destroy it?
What if it brings forth Cthulhu? Gotta be something. Oh, the god is asleep, but he's not. He's like, I don't know. I don't know what he's got. He's got a madness. Got a bad things. Bad juju. Alright, Scruffy.
Scruffy, you're the deciding vote. What do we do when we get to the machine?
Well, I was gonna say he goes first.
I vote we wait until we get there.
Alright, for your indecisiveness.
All right, so you go out into the hallway. You can see 2 ghouls still burning despite the water that they are submerged in the hallway. Presumably, or at least I would assume you would presume, these are the 2 from that room that you were in earlier.
Probably.
Good. Now that that room doesn't have ghouls in it, if y'all still wanted to do something in there, we can.
I guess we could like turn on the generators or whatever that's worth. I mean, that might get, oxygen flowing, maybe. It's not the routine that we're supposed to destroy.
So you hear from this direction, so over to the east. It's fairly quiet, so you don't think it's like directly in that dining room area where the bodies were piled. But you hear more yelling and flaming noises.
I think you should go right now. Come on, Scruffy.
All right. Let's go to the janitor. Whoop. Get the keys. I didn't mean to go that far. Go back. Not that far.
You're not doing anything.
Yeah, on my screen you're not moving at all.
Yeah. Bebe.
Well, I think my computer's freaking out.
Rip.
We'll just pretend that my token is you. I'm just kidding.
All right, so where y'all
Oh,
hit it?
now you
All right,
do.
now you moved.
They're going to we're going to the generator room. We're gonna turn it on.
No, I think that's not the machine.
It isn't, but we're just gonna turn it on to see if we can't get oxygen. Or not. I guess Shaggy Scruffy has decided we're not going in there.
Sorry, I missed the door.
All right, so you guys are going back in that room?
Yes.
All right.
We're gonna turn on the generator.
So you go back in. The ghouls that were in there are, in fact, no longer there. So that's good news. Looking around, there are some notes on the table if you'd like to read them.
Yes.
All right. So you look at the notes, and they read... Animal souls are pretty simplistic, but they are still fascinating to watch. I just wish we could keep them around for longer. Perhaps we should stick with small animals a little longer. That dog seemed pretty mad, and I think he tried to attack me. Interesting, and that's like 2 different notes. Third note, interesting fact. Turns out the spirits are unable to interact with organic matter. That rat soul wanted nothing more to get at that flesh that we put in along with it, but it just bounced right off. And then the final note, we're going to have to put these experiments off for a while. The monkey soul was unable to interact with its body when it tried, or any of the other organic materials placed in the device. However, when a rock was placed in the device, it was able to pick it up and broke the glass. Damn near took my eye out, too. I'll put those in chat for you.
I don't think we should actually turn on this. I think it's a soul extractor, so yeah. Let's leave.
To the real machine.
To the real machine. Come on, Scruffy. You're the vanguard.
All right, so you're back at, the one toward the south is locked. Let me send that guy to the back so that he's not over top of people. All right, now you guys should be able to
There's a door
stand
here
on him.
too.
Yes, and you have not gone through that south door either. Are you gonna try the door there, Dr. Ghostenstein?
Yeah, I'm gonna open it a smidge.
All right. Go.
My curiosity is getting the best of me.
All right, so the door opens easily enough. As you enter this fairly small room, it is immediately clear that there is little room to maneuver. It seems to be some sort of secondary meeting room that can only fit 6 or 7 people comfortably at one time. There's a large table in the middle of the room with 6 chairs positioned around it. There are 3 large whiteboards in the room with cryptic smudged black notes still visible on them.
What do they say? The door's not open for us, by the way.
Oh, I have not opened the door. That is very accurate. There you go. Door is open.
All right, Dr. Ochtenstein. Dr. Ock.
I will read what's on the table.
All right, so nothing interesting on the table, but if you read the whiteboard, it's despite the smudging, you're able to decipher generally what the whiteboards depict. In simple terms, it seems that the scientists on the facility were trying to create a very complex, intricate machines and had run into a dead end as far as traditional manufacturing techniques were concerned. They, however, discovered how to grow organic materials, which have which has many of the properties needed for traditional machinery, but they were able to reach a whole new level of detail. They learned how to imprint specific growth patterns into the materials and actually grow machinery that would be all but impossible to create out of standard materials.
Seems sus.
Okay, squad, move out.
Do we want to try and unlock any of these doors or not?
I think we should go down the hall to the machine.
I think we should go this way because I think the exit is this way.
Just follow the ominous trail of blood.
Hey, that's where the fire people came from. They had to have like maybe a ship or something. Come on, Scruff.
Wait, so are we going toward where the blood is or down?
I'm going towards
Left.
where the blood is.
No, the voice told me to go left.
I don't think we should listen to the voices. I think the voices are trying to kill us. I think we should leave.
All right, you can see the doors ahead of you, Scruffy. They are completely blown out of their hinges. So you can easily continue toward the west, or you can head north.
South?
Yes, south, my bad.
I say we go take a look this way.
All right. So first you find yourself in the decontamination room. A blood red light shines from the ceiling and a strong chemical scent rises from the floor of this room. The doors at either side seem as if they had at one time closed very securely, but they have been torn apart by some horrible strength. There's a trail of dried blood leading, well, semi-dried blood, drying blood, leading both into where you have been and ahead of you.
See, decontamination, that's where you come in. That's where we're going to leave. Let's see. I think the door is still closed on our end.
Oh, I must have forgotten that these doors were not actually there. They don't, just, yeah, we'll get rid of those. Yeah, no more doors. All right. You've seen quite a bit of blood recently, but nothing has prepared you for this room. The walls and floors are covered in dark, clotted blood, sprayed about as though some madman had discovered the existence of red paint for the first time. The scent of iron is strong in the air, and the floor is slick like a fever-ridden brow. However, there are no slicker, like I said. It's definitely to your shins at this point. Like, not knee height, but it's above your ankles at this point, the rising water. Let's see. There are no however, there are no bodies in sight. Only their lifeblood, chunks of offal remain to mark that they had once been here. So the walls, even all the way up to the roof, just splattered in blood. There are actually a couple of bodies, though. You see several figures that have been torn apart and just absolutely like rent limb from limb that are wearing the same armor as those flamethrower guys.
Sucks to suck, I guess.
All right, so you go up. There is a control area. Yes, so north or south first?
Well, let's look at the controls.
All right.
That's probably wise.
You look at the controls, and there seem to be controls for docking and undocking vehicles. But they require a code.
But it's 666.
It does not work.
So, do any of them have a ship docked at them at the moment?
Yes, they both appear. If you look at the readout on the panels, both of the docks are currently occupied.
Okay, well, this is good. Doc, can you hack this?
In my sleep.
All right, science or tech?
That's a lot of sixes.
All right. You have a 5 in tech?
Well, I thought it was my tech +1 for science.
Oh, you were. Well, you have to ask if you're going to use your proficiency.
I thought
but
that was what you meant.
I'll give it to you. Well,
I thought that's what you meant.
No, I meant not science. The other thing, the researchy one. Smartness.
Academics.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Well.
Yeah,
if
no,
you take
that's
out
my
any
bad.
of those, I still get a 6.
Yeah. All right. Let me go ahead and give you 2 franchise dice. And you hack into it, and you can now release the docked vehicles.
Can we, like, open the door to the docked vehicles?
You haven't tried.
Oh, well, heck, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try the south one first.
All right.
There's no window I can, like, peek through, is there? Like, into where the docked ships are?
Nope. Solid door.
Okay. Well, we're gonna try it.
All right, so you open the door. Of course, you know it's a hatch more than a door, and you start to creak it open, and you hear more voices, kind of muffled and coming from inside.
Like human voices?
Yes, human voices.
Okay, we're gonna close that.
They
Gently.
probably have flamethrowers.
Yeah, yes. And then I'm going to check the northern door.
All right, you check the northern door. You try to open it, but you see that it's been heavily damaged and is completely inoperable.
Oh, Lane.
You can tell from the markings above the door that this must be a docked sub. You would assume it was how the unfortunate soldiers you have seen thus far must have arrived, not the flamethrower ones, the others that have been in here. Unfortunately, the door has been damaged to the point that you are unable to get it open, but you are able to see inside, so this one does have a window. Despite the darkness, you can see that the sub is slowly filling with water, and you can see the sparking of more than a few electronic devices shorting out. There's no way that this sub is still functional.
All right, guys. I think they sent all of the heavily armed guys out. So if we steal this one, they're probably just pencil pushers, right? They're like pilots, you know. Well, we can overpower them and we can kill them.
Is there any way I can cut the power to their vehicle from the command center?
I don't think we want to do that because we need it.
No. I want to flush them out so that we can hijack the.
So you're trying to do what again?
I want to shut the power off on their docked vehicle and then
You can't do
force
that.
them.
The vehicle
Oh.
systems are not connected directly.
Dang.
If I go and pick up one of the helmets that are on the floor of the poor people who've been torn apart, do I like hear any of their comms coming from it? If that makes sense.
You managed to find one. It is heavily damaged. However, putting it on your head, are you putting it on your head?
I am putting it on my head.
All right, 4 dice, or not 4 dice, 3 dice stress roll.
Oh, son of a bitch.
You're putting a gore-covered head off of a dead, or helmet off of a dead body on your
listen.
head.
I deal with demons, and I didn't, I figured after everything I've seen today, surely, okay, 6, 5, and a 3.
All right, so you drop the lowest, 5. You are unaffected, so you in fact are not to put out by this. And it seems that it's broken, and you can only hear bits of garbled static, and occasional clips of their conversation. But you can hear one of them saying, we lost Tony. I'll see if I... Roger. And then it shorts out completely.
Alright, guys, here's my plan. One of us yells, "Help! It's me, Tony! You need to come out here and help me. I've lost a leg." And then when they come out, we jump them. Or we can go find the mysterious machine. And they...
I like the submarine jacking plan, or whatever this vehicle is.
I can give the highest in connection.
I have a 1.
Shaggy, you have the highest in connection.
I mean, a 1 is as low
That's
as it
not
can
even
get.
low.
So if everyone has a 1,
Fine.
But I'll roll it if you want.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Unless, Doc, you don't have anything higher than a 1, do you?
Nope.
Okay, fine. I'll roll it. I'll go up to the door. Well, like, open it a little bit and say, "Help! It's me, Tony. I need your help. Please come quick, I'm bleeding."
all right, roll it.
Oh, I got a 5.
All right. So you hear some voices, and Tony. I thought he said Tony went down. I don't know. Well, be careful. And then you hear footsteps coming toward the door.
All right, we're all gonna get on either side of the door to jump them.
I was about to say, is that why you're standing directly in front of it?
Yes, obviously. I have my mask on, so it kind of looks like, and I'm laying down, so like only my head is kind of sticking up.
All right. So you see the door start to open, and as it opens, you see 3 figures in a proper SWAT formation. So you have one who is crouched down, largely shielding his body using the door, who is opening it slowly. Behind him are 2 people, full armor and flamethrowers, pointed out the door. And as soon as it opens, you hear, "That's not Tony! Open fire!" And we're going to need another 5 die stress roll for good old Turin there, because he's the only one who's visible.
I'm kind of underwater, so like...
Not under that much water.
But I've got like a helmet on. They don't know. I could be Tony. I could be Tony.
You're not
They
even
know you're
wearing...
Tony.
They're not even wearing the right armor. The helmet is the only part.
No, but the rest of my body's under the water.
It's also not Tony's helmet.
Well, it might. He might have switched it up. You never know. Okay. I got a 2.
No, because you lost your point of cool from earlier when you had the meltdown.
Shoot.
So you have another meltdown. Luckily, it was not 5 dice like you rolled, or was it?
It was 5.
Okay, you're gonna lose 5 dice. And if you had any cool, it would be gone again.
Whoa! Oh no! I lost nothing. All right.
Do you have 5 dice to lose? I hope so.
I do. I now have a 3 in academics. I'm sorry, a 2 in academics and a 1 in athletics, and that's it.
And then your tech and contact are 0 then?
Yes.
All right. So then after they open you up, they're like, all right, I think we got him. Nothing could have survived that. Close the door. And the door is slammed shut. Yeah. So
You guys go ahead, find the machine. I'll just chill here.
you try to say that. All that comes out are incoherent screams as your flesh burns off of your body, and you are dead, my friend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you're very dead now.
Rest in peace, my friend.
All right, so as you die, you find your vision, like the pain is just agonizing, unbearable, beyond anything you could have ever imagined. The only reprieve comes as suddenly you see everything, well, things had already gone black, your eyeballs had melted. But finally the pain ceases and you feel a strange buoyant sensation as you are now looking at your own crispy body. You're now a ghost.
Well, I'm gonna go through the roof.
All right, you think about that when you feel suddenly this overwhelming presence. It feels as though you could see some sort of like a light through walls, and there's just this absolutely blinding presence that is moving slowly around outside of the facility that you're in these like short, jerky motions. It'll kind of like move and then like stop for a second and kind of like wind back a little bit and then shoot forward again. And then wind back a little bit and shoot forward again. Whatever it is, it doesn't seem like good news, and it seems to be outside.
Yeah. Well, is it like outside where I'm at?
It is outside of the facility in general.
Okay. But like, if I like pop my head up the roof, is it gonna be like right there, or is it like gonna be a little bit off?
It's hard to tell.
Well, I'm gonna go into the sub anyway.
All right, all right, you go in. There are a number of soldiers still in there. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, do I have any ability to affect the corporeal world?
If you are, you can try on something.
Inanimate objects.
All right.
And yes, Jason, good job paying attention to the notes from earlier.
I am going to try and pull their fuel cords from their flamethrowers.
You try to do that, but you feel weak, as if this like you can feel that you're affecting it, but all you're able to do is kind of like scooch them around a little bit. You're not able to do anything that drastic.
Can I say
That means
Tony?
that those ghosts throwing swords were damn strong.
I know, that's what I'm saying, man.
All right, Scruffy and Dr. Ghostenstein. Your deceased friend has ceased his unintelligible screams. He has no eyelids to, close.
Thanks for jumping on, guys.
Put his hat over his face.
Blocking the fire.
Thanks for not being meat shields, guys.
Right? Like you can't count on anybody these days.
All right, you put his hat on his face and you give it just a moment, a moment of respect. When suddenly what little light there was is gone. So all of the facility lights are now out. That control panel has gone dark. It seems that there is no power at all to the facility, not even the emergency power that there had been. So let me go ahead and make it so you guys have no light, except for, I assume one of you would like to grab Turin's lighter?
Yes, and my hand dandy flashlight.
All right, tech roll. All right, you have a flashlight. So who's taking the flashlight? Who's taking the lighter?
I'll take the lighter, and Dr. Ghostenstein can keep his flashlight.
All right, so Dr. Ghostenstein. Let's see. 45, I think. Save. Dr. Ghostenstein, do you kind of have... Whoop, that was the wrong button. I don't know if you guys can still hear me.
Yeah.
I locked my computer. Too much time on the Mac. I was trying to do Control L and I did Windows L. It's so annoying. All right. Let me do Scruffy real quick. So, Scruffy, dynamic lighting. Is that where I want? This dynamic lighting. This goes down. Save settings. I'm going to move you, Dr. Ghostenstein. You're in a new room. All right. Is your lighting correct? Oh, I need to remove the lighting off of Turn as well. There we go. All right. Turn is no longer making light. Scruffy, you have no light. Is that correct?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Now, low light for 15 feet. Bright light for 0 feet, directional light off. Save. All right, now you have some light in a field around you, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, the good doctor. You have low light for 15 feet. This is a new thing for you. Bright light for 30 feet. And it is 45. Save. Did that work?
I'm in the dark.
All right, that did not work. Feet. I need to turn these off. Bright light, low light. All right, total. Total size of the field of light. 30. Save. There we go.
Yeah.
So you now have a flashlight, and now that I move you back over here, you should be able to see down the hallway quite a ways further than you could with your implements you've been using so far.
Ooh. Look at that. Flashlight.
And this
Okay,
is
I'll
like
lead
the
the
first
way.
time you guys have had bright light in quite a while. So you can actually see color again. Imagine that.
I think we should go down this hallway that we didn't check before, because Turin wouldn't listen to.
And now he's dead. Bear!
Oh, what was that?
Bear!
So you do, as you're coming down the hallway, in fact, see this little friendly fella here.
Nope. We run. We run. This way. Do I get away?
Yes.
Okay.
Scruffy.
I'm trying.
All right.
My USB mouse.
No, it's fine. It's just because I'm trying to use the arrow keys, and my arrow keys are sticky sometimes.
All right, so now you find a hallway. I imagine you can figure out where that would connect if you wanted to go through it.
I think we want to keep going down. Though.
Turin,
Run.
what are you currently up to? Are you trying to go outside still?
I'm gonna like poke my head outside.
All right, you poke your head outside, and immediately you go insane.
Oh,
So
me.
you are now a PC. I control your character now.
NPC, you mean?
Yes, that's what I meant.
Did
You
you
go insane.
want to take my character since I can't
No.
decide I can't help
That's
'cause I know
actually-
where all the rooms are.
That's actually fair.
No.
Go ahead and no for this
No.
ending. I actually do think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it'll be better because, like I said, I know where I know a lot of this, like kind of what's coming. So I really can't play the ending.
I think that's a load of hogwash.
So how about
No, I
play
think
your
that makes
character?
sense.
Play your character up until the end, Anna, and then Abe will kind of play out the what you decide to do, I guess. All right.
Okay, I
Okay.
think you should play my character.
I think you should.
Well, I'm gonna open this door.
All right. The door opens easily enough. So, which room is this? 27. All right. You enter the room and walk along a short section of hallway and are immediate. So you can walk down the hallway now if you want. And are immediately struck by how different this room is from the rest of what you've seen thus far. The spacious room opens up and you can see that it is almost entirely made up of reinforced glass. Even the ceiling and floor are transparent. As you look out, you see you are staring into the darkness of an abyss. The unending blackness surrounds you and oppressively weighs down upon you. You feel as though its inky blackness were soaking into your very soul as it stretches on, broken only by the silhouette of an occasional, strangely misshapen fish. As you stare into the darkness, its numbing, almost mesmeric effect is suddenly cut short as you notice something large move above you. To your horror, as you look, it is a huge tentacled creature accelerating from rest above the room you're in. Its huge, unblinking, inhuman eye drills into your consciousnesses. Before the creature suddenly hurtles toward you with terrible speed, you're thrown to the floor as its huge body impacts the room, and you can see spidery cracks begin to spread across the glass, and already leaks are beginning to appear. And there are two doors.
And now there's a tentacle monster on me.
Oh, there's a big tentacle monster out there.
But it's not. Am I incapacitated by
No,
it?
you were knocked down, but otherwise you're fine.
Oh, okay.
So you can get back up. However, the room, like I said, spidery cracks are beginning to appear, and it is starting to leak.
Okay, we run fast. South.
All right. So you get there, and let's see. Where did I say about this door? I have it marked as locked on my map, but I don't have any information about the lock. That was probably an oversight by me. Well, we'll
Okay,
just say
I'll
that
try
you
the other
fumble
door.
through all the. Okay, you're going for the other door.
Yeah, I don't have time to fumble through the keys. I'm going for the other door.
All right, that door opens up easily enough. The small room you enter. Oh, let me actually open the door for you.
Legitimately, you have to play the end. I can't play the end.
All right. So the small room you enter has a claustrophobic, dusty feel to it, and despite yourself, you feel as though something were choking you when you enter. Across from you, a pair of identical desktop workstation PCs are sitting next to and sitting next to them is what looks like an oversized server rack. None of the indicator lights on any of the are on any of the devices, so you can easily surmise that none of them are currently running.
Okay, I'm gonna step in.
Cool.
Take a look around.
That's about all you see.
Okay, silly. Gotta go try the keys.
All right, the creature is still menacingly out there. Or actually, nah, it's gone away at this point. It's kind of retreated, so you don't see it, which is almost more disturbing. The fact that when you come back out of the room, it's just gone. And yeah, you start fumbling through each of the keys one at a time, and eventually you do stumble on the correct one and unlock the door. Boop.
Ah! Oh, good. There's nothing.
All right, you can walk through the hallway if you want.
Okay, onward. I hope that bear isn't us still.
I'm sure that bear is he's just trying to tell you not to light forest fires.
It didn't seem to react to you guys in the hallway, so you think it didn't spot you.
Or he's a friendly bear. There's also that.
Yeah, you haven't directly dealt with him. I'm sure he's less deadly than the flamethrower guys.
Probably.
That he killed like 4 of just in the docking area.
Of course, because they were starting forest fires. Fire, bear, come on.
All right, so you open this next door.
Yes, I steal by resolve and open the door.
All right.
By the way, Abe can't see what's going on right now.
Yeah, let me set him to also be controlled by Abe. Oop, save. All right, can you see now, Abe?
I can. Looks like a horrid tentacle monster. See?
Right.
If
So-
we just stuck with the plan, we all could have been eating tacos by now. But instead, we're all getting killed by something.
I'm pretty sure you were the one who wanted to go into the docking room, and also the one who wanted to open the door.
We stuck with the plan and jumped out and killed them.
Yes,
They
you
never
definitely
They just lit you up.
We would have.
you definitely would have been able to take out 2 dudes with flamethrowers for
Hey, we
sure.
had pocket knives. I don't know if you remember that.
The plan was
Why?
to wait until they stepped out so we could jump them from behind, and they never did. They literally just looked out the door and shot you out.
I know. I am just kidding.
All right, so as you enter the noisome room, you can hear a squelching and sputtering coming from the center of the room. The oppressively dense and humid air here is overbearing on your lungs, and you find that you must concentrate on breathing or risk simply allowing yourself to suffocate. There is a reverberating, senseless hum coming from some huge, shapeless, brown, organic mass in the center of the room. Centered directly on top of the pulsating mound of fleshy horror is a dull, bluish, 3-pointed star with a red eye in the center. The eye's frenzied gaze darts about blindly, but as though guided by some alien intelligence far beyond human intellect.
Disgusting. Wonder if it's alive.
Also, these 2 corners here are these large blue tubes filled with some sort of a fluid, and there is a body floating in this one here on the east.
I'm sure it's fine.
That's not creepy at all. Okay, I'm gonna walk up and take a closer look at this thing.
It's super gross. It's like pulsating, like it's got a beat, like a heartbeat to it. There are 2 large red buttons here and here. And there are keyholes, but there are already keys in the keyholes.
I'm gonna go take a look at this body.
All right. So let me check to make sure I'm actually keeping track of who this person is correctly this time. You see a rather dapper-looking gentleman with a little kind of a mustache, and he's wearing a top hat. I mean, he's dead,
You?
but
We've been speaking.
all right. Go ahead and
And this one's empty?
the other one is empty.
This-
Correct.
Oh man.
Go ahead and roll me d6s. Those of you who are still alive.
1.
Don't give me 6, baby.
5.
All
Oh, a
right.
new one.
Right?
So, Scruffy, you hear a very disjointed and confused thoughts. They don't feel human. But it's something about being really hungry and wanting cheese. All right, and a 1. Dr. Ghostenstein, you hear the German accented voice once again, and it says, "We got one of you already. It is just a time. You will all be dead."
Oh no.
You hear
It is the only way to stop it. You must all die. All right.
Okay, what to do? Scruffy, let's push these red buttons.
And
At the
Abe, you are
same
now
time.
Scruffy, so please take over at this point.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, you could roll some. to see
Also,
what
don't
they
worry
do.
about it, but I have started another timer. Well,
I'm sure it's fine.
started another timer up here.
Could
I think we just go for it.
just start hitting the buttons?
Just hit the big red buttons.
Let's do it. I'm hitting the big red button. The big red button.
All right, so
Okay, I'll go. I'll go hit this one.
all right, so you turn the keys and press the buttons.
Yes.
All right, so you do that, and you hear this thing in the middle begin to vibrate louder, and you can see it starting to squelch at a more rapid pace before suddenly a blinding light blasts out. And you guys find yourself with a strange buoyant feeling as you are now looking at your bodies from the third person.
Nice.
You can see your bodies begin to twitch and crawl about. Slowly, you can see bone spurs extending out, breaking your clothing, and claws growing on your hands, your teeth growing sharp until you are the same as those ghouls that you've been seeing about the facility. Your bodies then go running off down the hallway over this way. And that light that Turin saw before foolishly going and saying hi to it is now so much brighter. You guys don't know it's so much brighter, but it is. Just absolutely dominating everything around you. And you can feel yourselves being inexorably drawn toward it. And yeah, you are absorbed and killed also. So your souls are also dead.
Game over? We
Game
lose?
over. Now, last time we played this, I gave everyone a chance to, reload their save and try again.
I'm sure the good doctor had
So
a good reason
that
for
ending
wanting
was,
to call.
I guess, we turned on the machine.
Yes.
So I guess we should figure out what happens when we destroy the machine.
All
So
Or-
are we hitting the rewind button? Are we pulling a clue?
Pull on a clue. Nice.
All right. So that's what you want to do? Reload your save that you wisely made before turning on the buttons?
Yep,
Yeah.
we save scummed it. Let's go.
All right. So now, armed with that, fourth wall breaking knowledge, you take out your rebar that I assume Scruffy picked up again, and start smashing that crystal on the top of the machine. And this time there is a significantly less blinding light as it is fractured. And the machine slowly begins to bubble and gurgle, and it's squirting brown fluids in all directions for a few moments before it falls silent. Now, having done that, let's see. So you guys suddenly see Alfred, who's in that tube. You don't know he's Alfred. The British-looking man in the tube suddenly coughs and spits and starts to move.
Kill him. No. I guess we'll just wait to see what he does.
Are you alive?
Other tube doctor. But yeah, so he starts to wheeze and kind of like leans back against the tube. He's now in a sitting position. He goes, yes, though I'm afraid I won't be like this for much longer. I suppose I have you to thank for this. I'm sorry about your friend. I tried to lead you as best I could, but that bastard, Arnold Cussings, the freak, sold us out.
You're gonna need to
Hey,
talk a little
it's
fast.
Arnold.
What's happened? 30 seconds. Let's go.
You see, we were doing research on a...
Hey, how do we get out of here? Can we like cut to that part?
Yes, very, very wise. I should tell you that. The code to the... docking station, whatever. The code to release submarines is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of digits. I would not have gotten that.
Yeah, that's what we figured.
I'm not really sure how that will
You can ignore that timer.
will go. Because the other one of the submarines is sunk and the other one is full of flamethrowers.
That's... Yes, rather a sticky situation. I'm afraid I can't help you, though. Not with that.
I think it's time we Allahu Akbar this whole situation, Doc.
There is you could contact the surface. Not too far before you got here, there should have been a server room. I believe if you can restore power to the station, you could get a message back, perhaps to someone that wouldn't immediately try to kill you.
I don't know.
Why are they trying to kill us?
This is a rather classified location, and honestly, after we went dark like this, and the first set of soldiers were rather terribly torn apart and killed, I suppose they must have sent people down here with orders to kill anything that moves. I can't really blame them.
Got it. So we just don't move.
Don't make me laugh, it hurts.
Hello?
Yes? Are you there? Have you died also?
I think I'm going through a tunnel.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
All right, let's go put in the code and see what we could do.
Well, I think we have to go to the server room because otherwise
You don't want that 30-second what we were doing here and what happened?
Huh?
Well, you asked earlier for a quick rundown from Alfred of what happened. Yeah. Did you still want that?
Yes. Yes.
You see, we were doing research on souls, and of course, to be able to do that, it's rather required that we be able to take the soul out of a living body, you see. And we were experimenting with animals, and we weren't able to quite create the machines that we needed. They needed to be so much more detailed, so we turned to this organic technology. You see, the whole thing was broken open by that strange crystal there. It was just a very strange, and if you remember earlier, there were samples that you looked at that had this like strange hexagonal shape to them, the actual organic material, rather than what you would have expected. But yeah, so we started experimenting with this material and its abilities to grow in very precise ways, and we created all of this that you see around as well, the organic bits, obviously. And well, things were going quite well now that we finally were able to take the souls out of these animals and start to study them. However, I suppose Arnold was working with some strange group. It turned out he was a cultist of some kind, and he's trying to free his master. I don't know, some nonsense he was shouting about. We tried to stop him. Me and I don't know if you heard him shouting at you rather angrily, the German fellow. Anyway, his name was Bernd Geiger. Well, we tried to stop Arnold, but he shoved me in here and then set off the machine. He seems to have modified it so that rather than taking the souls out of just a single creature that we placed on it, it was sending out this huge shockwave, drove a soul out of every creature in this entire facility. Luckily, his master wasn't here at the time. He said something about it being set off early. But it turned us into these strange creatures you've seen about. And his body is also like mangled and weird, right? So it looks like the other things. It just, kept its top hat on, I suppose. Which is also presumably why he's dying right now, because that's not exactly good to happen to your body.
Maybe.
But you
So
seem
how'd you
to
end up
have...
in the tube?
I was pushed in here by Arnold.
Oh, right.
Yes, me and Ben saw him sneaking out at night, and we confronted him in here. Unfortunately, that's when he was able to set it off.
Arnold's be like that.
Well, shoot.
Yes, I'm afraid I'm dying now. Goodbye.
Okay,
All right.
I'm going to.
In generalities, what is your plan? Are you going to try to send a message to the surface like Alfred suggested? Are you going to go try bum rushing the submarine to see if that goes any better for you? Some third option?
Or we can take all the bastards with us.
Well, we do have the meta knowledge that the submarine is sinking, which theoretically only Abe's soul knows.
Well, yeah,
Only the damaged one to the north was sinking. The one to the south was in perfectly good condition.
Yeah, I don't think we could take those guys. I think we go try and contact the surface.
All right. If you do go back into the docking room, you see the door hanging open, and you don't hear any voices coming from the submarine.
Oh, well, let's just steal that puppy.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so you look in, and you see yet another scene of carnage. The bear creature seems to have gotten in and killed all of them, but they did enough damage that it is also dead.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna shut the door. Oh, Anna, you can finish playing it.
Yes, Anna can play again now. So you guys, now armed with the code to release the submarine, are able to board it. Dr. Ghostenstein, with your weird science abilities, are more than capable of piloting it back to the surface. And
wait, before we go, I want to take a blood sample of this bear
Well, I think the bear's on the ship
for
with
my
you.
mad science.
all right, spoiler: when you analyze it, it's just bear blood again.
Dang.
Nothing weird about it. All right, so you guys do manage to get up to the surface and are met by a United States military ship. They don't shoot you down. And the soldiers aboard are surprised to see you, and you are, of course, immediately detained for questioning. However, after, some time in a dark room being yelled at by a scary man with a light pointed into your face, some dudes in black suits show up, and they explain that you are agents of the United States government working on your own secret projects, and that you are to be released, and all records that they have on your interrogations are to be destroyed, and anyone who even so much as said hello to you is to be detained and given a strict NDA. And you're able to...
Are they going to tell us how we ended up in this other facility?
You, using your crazy mad science, are able to figure out that you were teleported by this machine way down here. seems to be a functioning teleporter, something that shouldn't by all rights exist, but you now know does. And it seems that that wounded guy must have, in an attempt to escape, come to this elevator and activated it, at which point, as you would expect from an extremely experimental piece of technology, it exploded and blew his arm off.
And then how did it happen to get all three of us? Like, why us?
No one knows.
Dang.
The teleporter was clearly not working as intended.
Yeah. It's almost like it knew that we were the crew that would be able to solve the mystery with our metaphysical
2/3 of the crew.
Well, we needed a sacrificial lamb for the mission to be accomplished.
And it'll be easy enough to find another, whack job exorcist,
Yeah, there's a lot of those around. Exorcists with real world demon exorcism experience.
Exactly. Yeah, and so
a dozen out here.
And so yeah, you guys are able to return to your franchise. Sadly, one crew member down, and that ends our episode of Eat Ghosts or Eat Pizza, Not Kill People. What's it called? Eat pizza, not people. Just another light-hearted episode. All right, that completes it. And to
Perfect
give
timing.
you, I assume you guys would like to know like the more or less what was going on in terms of the bad ending.
Yeah.
So I imagine you could figure out most of it. It was set up to do a burst, right? And it releases everyone's souls. So that's why you floated out of your bodies. You turned into ghouls, the same as all of the former occupants. Most of those ghouls were all of the ghouls were scientists working on the facility. And Alfred did tell you the majority of it, but from Arnold's perspective, Arnold is a cultist of Obrit. He joined the scientists in hope of freeing his god. So Obrit is a like an ancient Cthulhu style character. And let's see. So Obrit lived as a spirit. He only has passing interactions with the real world and didn't cause either good or harm as far as humanity was concerned. Thousands of years ago, an Atlantean mage summoned him with a plan of enslaving him and forcing him to do his will. This, of course, didn't go well, and he simply brought Obrit into the real world, where the enraged god began laying waste to the city, thus Atlantis disappearing. In the end, several of the city's most powerful mages tried to destroy Obrit, but they were not powerful enough and had to settle for imprisoning him in the body of an enormous squid. Since then, Obrit has been trapped in a corporeal body which he is not pleased with. He has been terrorizing ships and has caused the deaths of countless sailors. He has also garnered a certain number of cultists who work to find a way to free their god from his fleshy prison. And obviously Arnold was one of them.
And presumably Arnold thought that by sacrificing all of our souls, it could free his...
No, so it's set to do a burst around the facility, right? And that giant squid that slammed into the glass dome, that was Obrit.
Oh, free his soul.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to be a giant squid. He wants to go back to being a soul. And, devouring unlucky mortals who get too close to him. Well, the souls of unlucky mortals.
And the first charge missed.
Yeah, so the first charge was early. That's why Alfred said that Arnold was, saying about it being too soon. Obrit hadn't arrived when it was set off before. If it was set off again, which is, of course, what the American accented voice was telling you to do, activate the machine, then it would have released Obrit, which is what ate you in the bad ending.
Fun. Kind of a good ending.
Kind of.
A cultist.
Yeah, and also for like all of the sailors that Obrit in squid form has been killing, because like it said, when he was a soul, he really wasn't doing that much harm.
So yeah, that honestly probably is the good end.
Yep, sacrifice yourselves.
Dang. That's dark.
All right. Well, that is it for us today. Let's just do what we learned anyway because they're fun. And let's start with the dead person. What did Turin learn?
I learned to trust English people.
That's true. I was surprised that you guys didn't hear the British accent and immediately go, "That's the good guy. We should listen to him."
That's what I did.
All right.
I just blindly trusted any voices that I heard in my own head.
Fair enough. And also I should have been doing the voices way more often so that there would have been like more chances for you to hear stuff, but oh well. What about Dr. Ghostenstein? What has he learned?
Dr. Ghostenstein learned not to push the big red button and probably not default to explosives as the solution to everything.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, there seems to be a rather pesky specter wandering around your lab now, writing the word Turin on all your whiteboards and, leaving, like every time you go in to take a shower, he writes "save me" in like the Steam.
Turin, go away.
And
you did this to yourself.
And finally, what did Scruffy learn?
Scruffy learned that all of his friends are crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's a given.
Yeah, because you are also in the group of crazies. So sorry to break it to you.
It takes one to know one.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining me on this game. I hope you all had a great time, and I will see you on the next one.